put that on. Perfect. And then, oh no, what have I done? Oh, good grief. How do I get rid of that? Oh no. Oh, there we are. Good job. I don't know what I did, but I did something. Okay, let's start. Stood up. Just stand with your feet at a nice distance apart. Okay. Drop your shoulders down. Lift your chin. Centre through your feet. So you want to feel your toes, the sides of your feet, and your heels on the floor. And then stretch up to the ceiling. Push the ceiling up. Brilliant. And then take your arms out to the side. Flex your hands, push through the heels of your hands, straighten your elbows. See where your handprint is and just draw some circles all the way around that handprint. 3 times in one direction, and then change direction and draw 3 times in the opposite direction. Brilliant. Push your hands away again as you finish, then let your hands relax. Sway over to the side. Perfect. As far as you can go. Back to the centre. And sway over to the other side as far as you can go. And then back to the centre. And this time twist. Twist all the way down to your toes. Look over your shoulder. Brilliant. Back to the middle. And then do the same the other side. Twist around. Look over your shoulder. As far as you can go. Back to the centre. Keep your arms out to the sides. This time you're going to twist from the waist. So from the waist down, it's going to stay really still. So when you're ready, twist at the waist. Again, look over your shoulder. You won't be able to go quite as far. Keep pushing that back arm round. And then back to the centre. Same the other side. Twist. Look over your shoulder. Twist round. Perfect. Back to the centre. Arms down. Just lift those shoulders up to your ears and then push them down. We're going to do that again. So take your shoulders right up to your ears. This time we're going to push them back. So push them back, feel those shoulder blades move, and then slide your shoulder blades down your ribs. So your shoulders are now slightly back. You've still got that lovely straight back, and we're going to take our feet a little tiny bit further apart. Okay, straight and tall, take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, let your knees bend, and as you breathe in, straighten back up. We're going to do it 3 times. Keep your shoulders in line with your hips and your heels, so don't lean forwards. Beautiful. And one last time. Down we go on our out breath, and up you come on an in breath. Now we're going to take our legs a bit further apart. We're going to go lower, so if you need to hold on to something, or just have a chair or anything there just in case. A bit of wall, back of a sofa, a bed, whatever. All right, so with our feet further apart, on your out breath, you're going to bend down. And if when you get low to here, you think, oh, I can't reach it. You just need something to hold on to go that bit further down, that's absolutely fine. And then you've got that to push you back up, or make those leg muscles work really hard. You're going to try as far as possible to keep that back straight and not let yourself lean over your legs. That's too easy. We can all do that. Keep those shoulders back and back up. We'll have one last go. Out breath as you go down as low as you can go. In breath as you come back up. Now, just for comparison only, let your hands come onto your thighs and then lower down. Feel how easy that is when you're holding onto your knees. It's so easy. Good job. And back up. You're all amazing. Bring those feet back together and we will balance. Okay, so if you need to hold on to something, go near whatever you need. And even if you find you don't need it, it's a good confidence thing. Okay, take your weight over onto one foot. Just come right onto the ends of your toes with your other foot. And take a moment just to balance on this leg. When you're ready, lift your knee and take it out to the side. Hold it there, hold it there. Perfect. Back to the centre and down, nice and slow. Perfect, good job. Weight over onto the other foot. Lift your knee and take it out to the side. Can you push that knee far enough back that you feel your hip moving? Maybe. Back to the centre and down. And then stand one foot in front of the other foot. Okay. And again, take a moment just to settle. You want equal amount of weight through your front foot and your back foot. Okay, so don't just stand on that back foot. Take your weight slightly forward so it's on your front foot. Stretch up to the ceiling. And then take your arms all the way down by your sides. Keep balanced. And then move that back leg forwards. And again, move your weight so it's across both feet, not just on that back foot. Take a moment, a couple of deep breaths, and then stretch up to the ceiling. And then arms all the way down. Perfect. Take your front foot back. So you're still toe to heel. Okay, don't rest back on that foot you've just moved back. Equal again. Relax. Let your arms relax. Take a deep breath in. And when you're ready to breathe out, just close your eyes. Whoops. For the whole of your out breath, you've got your eyes closed. And when you're ready to breathe in, you open your eyes. And then move that back foot forwards. Same again. Take a moment, settle your weight between both feet. Stand up straight and tall, relax your shoulders. Deep breath in. Close your eyes as you breathe out. Nice and slow. And as you're ready to breathe in, open your eyes and bring your feet back to side by side. Well done. Well done. Just come up onto the toes of one foot and change toes. One side and the other side. And again each side. First side. Push that ankle forward, squash those toes over And same with the second side. Again, ankle pushed forward, toes squashed over. Down onto both feet and lift as much of your foot up as you can. Push down through your heel. One side and the other side. Push down through that heel. Perfect. And rest both feet down onto the mat. Well done. Okay, we're going to roll down towards the mat, but we're going to pause and just stretch. All right? So, stand at the end of your mat. Oh, Jan's warmed up. Hang on. Get rid of that. Lift your chin. Straighten your back. Drop your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, bring your chin down onto your chest. Let your head flop forwards. Deep breath in. Keep your chin there. And on your next out breath, start to roll. Roll down through your spine. Hinge at the hips. Let your arms dangle. Perfect. Perfect. If you're super bendy, stand on a block. But I think we're all right. Can anybody touch the floor? No. Perfect. Perfect. So, cross your arms. Rest your top of your head onto your forearms. And then just bring your torso towards your legs. So, chest towards your knees. Fold yourself over. Perfect. Then relax. You all right, Michelle? Yeah. We're going to let our arms dangle down. I want you to find a point where you can touch the floor. So you might be able to touch the floor straight away. You might need to walk your hands a bit forwards. You only need to have your fingertips on the floor just to give you some balance. Okay, and then just let your knees bend. So fingertips on the floor, bend your knees, and then straighten one leg. So one bent, one straight. And you should be able to feel a really good stretch in the back of your straight leg. And then swap legs over. So the other knee is bent, the other leg is straight. We're going to do that once more on each side. Bend one, straighten one, swap them over. And then bend both knees, walk your hands along the mat and come down onto all fours. So onto hands and knees. Perfect. When you're ready, take your hands a good pace forwards. Drop your chest towards the mat. Stretch out those shoulders. Keep your elbows as straight as you can. And then walk your hands towards you and sit back onto your feet. So you're sitting back into your prayer position. At the moment, you've got your arms stretched out in front of you, your head tucked down, but you could take your hands down by your feet, if that's any easier for you. Cross your arms over, rest your head on your hands, if that feels easier. Yep, good job. Okay, so in our nice comfy position, we're going to move our knees away from each other. So you've got space now to drop your body down between your legs. Bring your head down towards the floor. You might find that you can rest your face on the floor. So good wide knees. Drop your upper body down through your knees and stretch out. Hold it there for a moment. Then when you're ready, carefully sit yourself up. Take your legs out in front of you. Perfect. Perfect. That's it. You're going to collect whatever you need to do your 100. So you might want a ball or a block or a cushion behind your head. You might want something behind your hips, so you again could have a ball or a block. And then carefully lay yourself down on the mat. Okay, make this movement smooth, especially that last little bit. Keep control. Slow it down. Don't cough. Okay, good job. And now make your head, neck and shoulders comfy. You might want to beat your arms through the 100, or you can just relax them wherever they're comfy, out wide, across your body, behind your head, wherever you're comfy with those arms. Let your knees bend, feet on the floor, knees up to the ceiling. And as you do that, feel your pelvis move. All right, so you'll then part way into a neutral spine. You just need to maybe drop your back a little bit further to straighten out your hips and find yourself in a neutral spine position. So you're going to keep this neutral spine position, and on your next out breath, float one leg to tabletop, hold it there. Wait for your next out breath and float your other leg up to join it. So you've now got 2 legs in tabletop. If you make fists with straight arms, you can just touch your knees with your knuckles. Perfect. Head looking up towards the ceiling, but comfy. Propped up or flat on the floor. Same with your hips. Make sure your knees stay in line with your hips. They don't come forward and they don't drop down. Take a deep breath in, and on your next out breath, start your slow count to 100. So a lovely slow count. Deep breaths. Back stays straight. Upper body stays relaxed, especially across your chest. Make sure that none of the muscles across your chest are working. It's all coming from your core muscles. Nice slow movement, or nice slow breathing. Okay, now depending on how you feel today, you could keep your legs in tabletop and just wiggle your feet around. You could rest your feet down onto the mat, trying not to come out of this neutral spine, and bring them back when you're ready. And you might decide that you're going to stretch those legs straight up to the ceiling and lower them very slightly towards the mat and hold them there. Okay, so 3 different positions. All the time you're keeping your back straight and still. You don't want to come out of that neutral spine position. If you find that your back is arching, you make your legs easier. You bring them back to a tabletop position, or you rest one or both onto the floor just for a moment. Reset your back and start again. Perfect. So we've got lovely slow breathing. We're counting to 100. Excuse me. And we're keeping everything as relaxed as possible. You might find that it gets you in your thighs and you can feel them working, or your core muscles and you can feel them working really hard, keeping your back straight. We're counting nice and slowly to 100, but when you get to 100, just hug your knees in towards your chest and gently rock from side to side. Now, if when you're doing your 100, you just suddenly think, I really can't go on anymore, just hug your knees in. Don't push through it. Don't think, I'll just grit my teeth and get on with it and get to the other side. That's not what we're about. So if it becomes really difficult, knees hugged in and gently rock, or when you've got to your 100. Perfect. So lovely slow counting. But when you're at 100, knees hugged in and gently, gently rock from side to side. So don't rush to get there. Keep it all nice and slow. Well done. So with our knees hugged in, it's a really slow sway from side to side. Good job. And then see if as you're rocking, you can breathe out as you go to one side. Breathe in as you come back to the center. Breathe out as you sway to the other side. And breathe in as you come back to the center. And again, breathe out as you sway over to the side. And breathe in as you come back to the center. Last one. When you get back to the center this time, bring your feet down onto the floor one at a time. Keep your head comfy, and you can keep your back comfy if you want. You're going to put one ankle onto the opposite knee. Hop your supporting foot towards your hips. Gently push your knee away from you. Okay, so we're looking for a hip stretch. You might slide your foot further down your thigh, but that might be too much for your knee. So, weigh it up, which is best. And you might find that if you rock from side to side, you find a point where you can actually feel that stretch into your thigh. Okay. Hold that there. And as that stretch becomes more tense, try and relax the muscles. Come back to the center. Pop your leg off and change legs over. So other ankle onto your knee. Again, hop your foot towards your hips. You might like to slide your foot down your thigh. and gently, gently push your knee away from you. If you've got enough stretch now, just stay there. Otherwise, give it a little bit of a sway until you find your best stretch. And again, hold it there. Keep pushing your knee away from you. Try and relax as you feel your muscles tense up. Come back to the centre. Put that foot down. Now keep your feet quite close to your hips. Take away anything you've got behind your head. And we're going to go into some shoulder bridge. All right. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, push the small of your back hard down into the mat. Tilt your pelvis. You've created a lovely C shape now in your back. Start to float your hips up towards the ceiling. Keep that C shape in your back. Slowly and carefully float your hips up until you've got a straight line from knees to shoulders. Hold it there. And then on your next in-breath, tilt your pelvis. So do that pelvic tilt to create the C shape in your back. You should feel your thigh muscles working. And then lower yourself slowly and carefully down towards the mat. You're trying to get the small of your back down with that C-shaped tilted pelvis before you straighten out your pelvis and come into a neutral spine. And then you're ready to go again. So start your shoulder bridge on an out breath. Lots of really deep breaths as you slowly and carefully lift your hips up off the mat. You've got that C shape which straightens out at the top of your bridge. You don't arch your back though, you keep your back really straight. And then to make the return journey, on your in-breath, tilt your pelvis. Create that C shape again in your back and lower yourself down towards the mat. So really think about getting the small of your back down. Don't let your bottom hit the mat until you've passed through the spine of the small of your back. And then bottom comes down. You feel like you're rolling across your bottom just to get into a neutral spine, straighten your spine out. And then you can go again. This is the last one. Nice and slowly. Tilt your pelvis. Create that C shape. Thighs are starting to pull. The longer you can keep that C shape as you peel up, the longer your thighs work and the easier it is to come up through your spine. But as you rest down onto your shoulder blades, you're going to straighten out. Your thighs will relax. You should be able to feel your weight pushing down through your feet. Hold this top position for a moment. On your next in-breath, tilt that pelvis. Create that C shape. Feel those thighs work. And then lower yourself slowly and carefully all the way down onto the mat. Small of your back down. Straighten out And then straighten out your legs. And take your arms out to the sides. Okay. Backs of your hands on the floor. Your elbows are in line with your shoulders. And then bend your elbows and put the backs of your hands onto the floor again in line with your head. Okay. And then just move. Keep your elbows fixed on the floor. Let your hands float up towards the ceiling, over your head, and then down by your sides. Don't worry if you can't reach. And then up again until the backs of your hands are on the floor. So they're in line with your head. Elbows are still in line with your shoulders. And then keeping that 90-degree bend in your arms, lift your arms up and bring your arms together above your head. Elbows and hands touching. And then take them back out onto the floor. Nice and slowly. Make those shoulders really work. So again, we're going to rotate hands around our elbows. To the floor and back up to the floor by our head. Then keeping that lovely 90-degree shape at your elbow, bring your arms together. So your forearms are above your face, hands and elbows touching, and then back out. Perfect. Stretch your arms out to the sides and let them relax. Think about your feet. So the first thing we're going to do is flex our ankles, push through your heels. And then flex your toes, so just your toes, so your toes are pointing towards your head. So we've got flexed ankles, flexed toes. Then just moving your toes, you're going to curl them over as if you're gripping something with your toes, but keep pushing through your heels. Then, keeping your toes curled over, you're going to point your ankles. If you get cramp, just let your toes wiggle around. Keep those ankles pointed for a moment. Then relax your toes. Relax your feet. Brilliant. Bring your arms down by your sides. And when you're ready, we're going to grab a ball or a block, it's up to you, and put that ball underneath your hips. Good job. Okay, so we're going to do a few exercises on the ball. If at any point you want to come off and just go onto a block, it's absolutely fine. Let your legs come up to tabletop one at a time. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, lower one bent leg down towards the mat. And as you breathe in, let your leg come up to tabletop. Perfect. That's perfect. Right, couple of tips. The leg that's stationary needs to stay stationary. Okay, sometimes we find our resting leg follows our other leg down towards the mat. Not all the way, just involuntary, it moves by itself. It goes down a little. It's more often happens when you've got straight legs than bent legs. you want to make sure the leg that is lowering towards the mat stays at 90 degrees. You don't let your foot come towards your thigh or your leg straighten out. That's looking good. And the distance you go down is up to you. If you're touching the mat, it is like a feather-like touch. You literally tiny tap, and it's as if it's fire, and you move quickly away from it. That said, as you lower or raise your leg, although it's the whole of your out breath as you lower, try and make it a lovely, strong, slow breath. And the same on the return journey. Make that in breath as slow as possible. Don't race to get your leg back up. So most of our strength is from the return and not the lowering. It works harder to come back. That's why we want to make it a bit faster, get it over and done with. But we're going to keep it nice and slow. Once more on each side. And then when you've finished, just hug your knees in towards your chest. Hug them in really tight. Don't rush to finish that last one. Hug those knees in, good job. And pull them close to you. Now move your knees apart from each other. Hold on to your ankles or your toes. Take your feet up to the ceiling and pull down on your knees. Tuck in your knees into your armpits. So you're into your happy baby. Feet wide apart from each other. And pull down on those feet. Now, if you can, or if you want to try, you could have a go at straightening your legs. Well done. You can move your hands to your ankles if you wanted to. Perfect. And then let your knees bend. Once more, pull them into your armpits. You might feel that stretch right down into the small of your back. Just in your hips. Bring your feet together. Push your knees together. And then straighten both legs up towards the ceiling. Good job. So 2 straight legs up towards the ceiling. Arms relaxed. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, lower one straight leg down towards the mat. This is when the resting leg likes to follow. And then as you breathe in, take your leg back up. Perfect. Well done. Straight leg. Out breath as you lower. Nice and slowly, and then in breath as you return. Good job. Now, feet relaxed. If your feet are more relaxed, pointed or flexed, that's absolutely fine. But try and keep those feet relaxed, your ankles relaxed. You don't want to go creating cramp in your feet. Beautiful. If the back of your legs is really tight, you've got tight hamstrings, and you can't quite keep your legs straight all the time, you could have them really quite bent at the top, and then as you lower, you straighten. We all walk on straight legs, so as you lower that leg, it can get straighter. So don't worry too much if they're a bit bent at the top. Well done. We're going to do one more on each leg. So nice and slowly, watch that back doesn't move. Keep your back completely straight. Out breath as you lower. in breath as you come back, last leg. Out breath as you lower. And in breath as you return. Perfect. And then hug those knees in. Well done. When you've taken a couple of deep breaths, stretch those legs up towards the ceiling one at a time. Take your arms up towards the ceiling. We're going into a dead bug. You don't have to lower your leg that much to the floor should you not want to. So just go part way. Out breath, opposite arm and leg, come towards the mat. And in breath as they come back to the center, other side. Out breath, arm and leg towards the mat. In breath, back to the middle. Keep it nice and slow. Okay, so if you're not taking your leg to all the way down to touch the floor, then don't take your arm either. If you just go part way with your arm. So you're matching. Upper body and lower body are matching. Once more on each side. Well done. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Okay. So it's up to you if you want to come off the ball and go onto a block or stay on the ball. Gonna hug one knee in tight and stretch your other leg out. If you're on a block, you could possibly lay it on the floor, otherwise just float it up off the floor. Take a breath in. As you breathe out next time, swap legs. And as you breathe in, stretch. So either point or flex your toe, stretch that straight leg and pull your bent leg towards you. Out breath as you swap, in breath as you stretch. So it's two stretches. Bent leg gets pulled towards you, get a lovely hip stretch. Straight leg, you push down from your hip. See if you can stretch your hamstring by flexing your foot. It's a lovely slow stretch on that in breath and a slow exchange of legs on your out breath. You can pull your knee towards you, or you could take it slightly out to the side or across your body, wherever you feel you've got a nice stretch in your hip. So one more on each side. And then hug both knees in towards your chest. That's it. Perfect. Now, with both knees in towards our chest, on our next out breath, we're going to stretch both arms and both legs up towards the ceiling. And on your in breath, cuddle your knees back in towards you. You can make it harder by pushing your arms and legs away a little closer to the floor. But then hug back in. And you can make it a little bit harder until you're in a straight line. Arms and legs pushed away from you. into that straight line. Now, be really careful about your back. When you push into a straight line, your back wants to arch, and you're going to really work hard to keep it still and straight. We're going to do 2 more. Think about your backs. It doesn't matter where you're taking your legs to, high or low, anything in between. Well done. Then hug those knees in tight. So last one, if you're doing another, hug your knees in tight as you finish. And then when you're ready, straighten those legs up to the ceiling and hold on to the back of your leg. So it could be below or above your knee, but not behind your knee. And then gently pull your legs towards you. And as you pull your legs towards you, you might find that you can move your hands further up your legs. Little Leo's helping out. Good boy. So, legs as straight as possible and pull gently towards you. Can you feel that stretch in your hamstrings? And release your legs. Let them bend. Let your feet come down to the floor one at a time and take that ball away from behind you. Brilliant. Okay, so with that nice flat back that we've got, we're going to let our legs come up into tabletop. Use the mat. Feel the mat touching your back all the way. And just go into a couple of scissors. Feel the difference. Out breath as you lower your bent leg towards the floor. In breath as you pick it up. Now, I know we're repeating, but I want you to think about your back. Think about how straight, oh hello, you can keep your back. That's it, Jan, you just give me something else to look at. Lovely. Right, really think about keeping that back straight now. It's going to want to arch. You're tempted now to put something behind your hips. When you get to that stage, just hug your knees in. As soon as you feel that you're really, I just want to slide my hands in or a block, just stop and hug your knees in. Otherwise, you're going to just do one more and hug those knees in. Brilliant. That was amazing. Well done. When you're ready, let your feet come down onto the floor and roll all the way over onto your tummies. No rush. Slow and steady. Perfect. That's it. Well done. Well done. Okay, make your head, neck and shoulders comfy. Bring your legs really close together. Knees touching. And bend both legs. Cross your ankles over or go heel to toe and push one heel towards your bottom. At the same time, you're pushing your knees together, your hips forward into the mat. You're trying to feel a stretch in your thighs. If you can't feel a stretch with your head down onto the mat, push yourself up onto your elbows and see if you can feel that little stretch in your thigh, or big stretch, who knows. And then change ankles or change feet. So again, crossed over ankles or toe to heel. Knees close together, hips pushed forwards. Perfect. Hold that for a moment longer. And then let your legs relax. Let them come all the way back to the mat. We're going to do some upper body lifts. Now, if you've been out in the garden, you might find that this is harder today. It's all those muscles around the lower part of our spine that we use a lot when we're bending over. And you've probably got no weeds in your garden, but I've got thousands. I've got them for everybody. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're doing this properly, and it's not about the height you can attain with your lift. It's about using the right muscles. So let your legs flop first. Let them really relax. Bring your arms down by your sides and look down at the mat. Really relax the whole of your body. Let your elbows just come down towards the mat and bend slightly. You're resting your nose on the mat, so your nose is now getting squashed. The first thing you're going to do is hold your core muscles in. So belly button is tightly squeezed towards your spine. And you're going to hold those core muscles in as tightly as you can. And when you hold your core muscles in, make sure you don't suddenly tense your thighs or your bottom or even your toes sometimes. Just belly button towards spine. Take a deep breath in. On your next out breath, you're going to lift your upper body, keeping your nose looking down towards the mat. Doesn't matter how high or low you go. And then on your in-breath, you return. So it's a really slow movement. If you're not coming up very high at all, it's a slower movement. If literally you're just picking your nose up off the mat, but you're picking your nose up by using your back. You're not using your neck, you're not letting your chin come up, that stays down. Okay. So out breath as you come up. And then as you go back down, you're going to feel which muscles you use. They're going to start relaxing. So if you used all those muscles in your legs or your feet, you will feel them relax. Really work those core muscles, especially round into the small of your back. They're really useful. Arms relaxed. If you felt you wanted to, and you could keep your lower body relaxed, you can glue your arms to your sides. And then as you lift up, you've got some work in your arms as well. Personally, I find that harder because I think as soon as you make your arms help, you're more likely to use your lower body. But give it a go, you might find it's more beneficial. We're going to do one more. And then as you rest down this time, turn your head and rest down on one cheek. You're going to clasp your hands together behind your back and let your elbows bend. Now, on your out breath, core muscles held in still. You're going to lift your upper body, stretch your arms up towards the ceiling, rotate your head to the center, and on your in breath, rest your arms back down and rest onto the other cheek. So you've turned your head all the way around, rest down onto the other cheek. Keep that going. So it's an out breath. You lift your upper body, bring your head to the center, stretch your arms up. You can do all that in one move. I can't say it in one move. And then as you rest down, your arms come back and you turn over, rest onto the other side. And if you wanted, you could also let your legs stretch and lift. Very different to the upper body lift. So it's every muscle in your body now that you can use. So out breath, center, lift your arms and your legs. In breath, relax and turn your head to the other side. Once more. Then let your arms move to where you're comfy or flop down. Perfect, perfect. Slowly and carefully push yourself up onto hands and knees. Or fists. If your wrists are feeling a bit weak, just come up onto your fists. Okay, and cat stretch. Let your head drop down, arch your back. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, let your tummy come towards the mat. Look up at the wall in front of you. For those that like to stretch their hands, now take your fingers out to the sides. Breathe in, head down, back arched. Now point your fingers together. And breathe out, lower your tummy towards the mat. Look up at the wall in front of you. Last wrist movement, fingers towards knees. As you arch up, drop your head. Take your hands now to where they're comfy, probably fingers pointing towards the wall. Okay, tuck your toes under and push yourself up into your downward dog. Push away with your hands, push your heels towards the floor, stretch your legs, stretch your arms. Then slowly and carefully walk your hands towards your feet towards your hands. Straighten your legs. Let your arms dangle. Then hold on to the back of your legs. Back of your ankles, your calves, back of your knees. And carefully pull your torso towards your legs. Let your arms dangle. Slowly and carefully roll yourself up through your back, one vertebra at a time, until you're up to standing. Don't rush. Head up last. Brilliant. Center through your feet. Stretch your arms up to the ceiling and push that ceiling up. Then push your arms away from each other. And then finally push your hands down towards the floor. See if you can stretch your shoulders down. Relax, take those shoulders slightly back. Lift your chin. And when you're ready, give yourself a really good shake. Get everything shooken. And thank you so much. You've been amazing. There's no class next week. And obviously it's going to rain because it's a bank holiday.